me versus Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
I will pay homage to him because fair play. If he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed, and it will be fast and it will be messy, and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
I can't give Jake Paul any more compliments than I'm giving him. All I said was he'll never be a world champion and he'll never beat Canelo Alvarez.
The boxing world is abuzz with the announcement of a potential showdown in July between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. Paul has been vocal about his desire to fight Alvarez, citing his size and reach advantages as factors that could make for an exciting matchup. In a recent interview, Paul confidently stated, "I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or UBBO championship belt." He has consistently expressed belief in his ability to challenge Alvarez, with the proposed bout taking place at 200 Olbs for the Cruiserweight Championship. This unexpected announcement has taken the boxing community by surprise, as few thought such a fight would ever come to fruition.
Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
Would you play with him a little bit? Would you carry him a little bit first?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I think that people is gonna enjoy. For me, not right now, because I'm chasing other things in my career. But
Jake Paul took to Twitter to announce his biggest fight yet, declaring, "It's time." July 5th, New York, New York. The long-awaited showdown with Canelo Alvarez is finally happening. The news sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Paul has been chasing this fight for years, and now it's officially on. Reacting to the announcement, Tank Davis shared a blunt response on Twitter, writing, "ID'd, I'm looking for flowers," appearing unfazed by the matchup. While the boxing community continues to debate the fight, Davis remains focused on his own path. Paul, the YouTuber-turned-boxer, has long expressed his desire to face Canelo. In a 2021 interview, he stated, "I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or WBO championship belt." While his ambition was initially met with skepticism, Paul's persistence has kept the conversation alive.
Like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen
In
3
the
more years
three
from now.
years- so 3
I'm going to
years.
get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
In November 2024, Jake Paul squared off against boxing legend Mike Tyson in an 8-round heavyweight match at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Despite Tyson being 58 years old, the fight drew considerable attention. Paul emerged victorious by unanimous decision, with the judges scoring the bout 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 in his favor. This win added a major name to Paul's list of opponents, boosting both his confidence and his standing within the boxing community.
Champion. And then for your girlfriend Yuta to win Olympic gold.
Yeah, we just have all the belts
That's insane.
in the world.
That's crazy.
And then we should just retire after that.
So look, are you happy with your performance in the fight? Are you happy with the way the night went down?
I wish he would have, put up a better fight, so then I could have risen more and done more. And he was surviving.
He was.
So
Before you went out.
it's worked up. But I think that everybody just wants him to win, wanted Mike to win. But
Dude, people really don't like us, Jake. People really want to see you get knocked out.
yeah, what did I ever do to anyone?
Well, you climbed on top of the KTLA news van.
Hilarious.
You wasted the government's money
How?
because the FBI had to raid your house.
They wasted their own money. They wasted their own money. Why would they do that? I didn't. And then nothing ever came from it. They didn't even know what they were doing there.
With a highly anticipated fight against Terence Crawford set for September 2025 in Riyadh, generating significant excitement in the boxing world. Prior to that, Canelo was expected to face William Skulls in May, but reports now indicate that instead of facing Skulls or Chris Eubank Jr., Canelo has agreed to a high-profile bout with Jake Paul. This move highlights the commercial appeal and intrigue surrounding a potential Canelo-Paul matchup.
All right, let's do this. Canelo versus Crawford confirmed. Not a rumor, not speculation, not he said, she said, or someone leaking the story. Confirmed. And I guess the confirmation doesn't get much more rock solid than the Ring Magazine putting this story out first. Ring Magazine, obviously owned by Turkey. Turkey would have been the one to put this deal together, and Turkey would have had to give the green light for the Ring Magazine to even put that story out. That's as confirmation as you need it. That's it. The fight will happen in September. Touch wood, no injuries. Wow. Easily the biggest fight of 2025. I said a few days ago, Benavidez Morale was my most intriguing fight of 2025. Obviously, that's now been put down to second place because this has been announced. Nothing can be announced to top this.
Alvarez has made it clear that he isn't fazed by Jake Paul's challenges. He stated that he's focused on his own career and isn't bothered by Paul's callouts. Canelo emphasized that he doesn't need the fight against Paul and has no interest in being part of what he sees as a spectacle. This view aligns with comments from boxing analysts, who suggest that Canelo sees a potential fight with Paul as more entertainment than an actual sporting challenge.
Ever do like exhibitions like that, or like people like Jake Paul call you out, or these like other big stars? Like, is that business-wise like even worth it?
When I'm done with boxing, why not? Maybe I do it. I think it's
Like when you're done like competing at the highest level, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they wanna watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world, right? Yeah. That's good because everybody enjoy it.
Would you ever entertain that idea when you're done?
Maybe.
PN has reported on the potential showdown between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez, highlighting the possibility of it being a massive event. Paul's recent win over Mike Tyson, despite Tyson being in his 60s, added a legendary name to his resume. A fight with Canelo, widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters of all time, would represent a significant step up in competition for
Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul in May. That's what ESPN books. Yeah, ESPN in Spanish is reporting. ESPN in Spanish does 1,000,000 times better than ESPN in English when it comes to boxing. It's just factual. So I really trust their relationship in the boxing world versus the American counterpart, that it's always hit or miss. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they take sources, they don't source where they got it from. But ESPN in Spanish is saying it's very serious talks between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul to fight in the USA in May, and it's going to be a joint promotion from Canelo Promotions, from MVP Promotions, and from PBC. I've heard about this fight about 5 months ago, that there was talks about it happening. I couldn't really run with it because it didn't look like that was the direction, but anything is possible. And Jake Paul did tease that he has a big announcement in January. So this may be the big announcement he was working on. But what do you guys think? Canelo and Jake Paul. Jake Paul's been in boxing 5 years. Canelo Alvarez has been in boxing since he was a kid. Been a professional since he's 15. He's fought the likes of Mayweather, Cotto, Danny Jacobs. So many off the top of my head. Pero Angulo. He fought Munguia, Berlanga, and Austin Trout. And so many legends on his resume. Shane Mosley and James Kirkland. And Canelo works very hard to be at the position that he's in. A 4-division champion and undisputed at 68. And him and Jake Paul, marketing-wise, would be a massive, massive fans. Everyone knows Canelo is a rock star. Everyone knows Jake Paul is very popular. It's hard to top Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, but if there's one fight they could top it, this may be it. So it's going to be interesting. And Jake Paul, he shared the ring with Mike Tyson. And a lot of people want to see revenge. Even Canelo said that he would fight him in revenge for Mike Tyson. So this may be on Netflix again. And if it is, that was a movie. They really invested everything.
Instead of facing William Skulls or Chris Eubank Jr., Canelo Alvarez has opted to fight Jake Paul in July, a decision that has caught many in the boxing community off guard. UFC President Dana White has weighed in on the potential matchup, suggesting it would be an easy payday for Canelo. White implied that Canelo could earn a substantial amount by fighting a more legitimate opponent and questioned the competitive merit of a bout with Paul. Additionally, boxing icon Floyd Mayweather has been critical of Jake Paul's ambitions to face Canelo, stating that Paul would be overwhelmed by Canelo's skill and experience. Mayweather argued that Paul might look good until he faces a true fighter who can actually compete, highlighting the significant challenge Paul would face against a boxer of Canelo's caliber. 8 intro.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
It get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMT.
You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys.
Legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez has commented on the potential matchup, acknowledging that while Jake Paul isn't as skilled as Canelo, he isn't entirely without ability. Chavez suggested that Paul could hold his own to some extent, indicating that the fight might be more competitive than some critics anticipate.
Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez has weighed in on the potential matchup, acknowledging that while Jake Paul may not be as skilled as Canelo, he does have some ability. Chavez suggested that Paul could hold his own to a certain extent, implying that the fight might be more competitive than some critics expect.
Where Canelo's coming from. Anybody for that matter. If, like you said, if you've been in a fire, how dare anybody come to me and act like I'm supposed to fight you, and you're a YouTuber that turned to boxing, and I'm a champion walking around here, and y'all acting like I need him. Do you think they're justified in feeling annoyed when people come at them like that about Jake Paul?
I understand completely where Canelo's coming from. If I was an active fighter, I wouldn't entertain it either. When you in the fire and you still in the game like that, you got real issues and beef going on. You got real opponents, like dudes that can really hurt you, that you need to figure out how to beat them and when we go fight and all that kind of stuff. I don't have time to entertain the circus. I don't have time for you to have my name even associated with a dude that ain't really a fighter like that. So I understand completely with it. He ain't got a lot of time to entertain that kind of stuff, but you know how it goes, Stephen. And people say they're not interested in something until that number get large enough, and all of a sudden start making a lot of sense.
Retired British boxer
Former world champion Andrew Ward has shared his perspective on Canelo Alvarez's reluctance to fight Jake Paul, suggesting that Canelo may not want to be involved in what he sees as a circus, given Paul's background as a YouTuber and entertainer rather than a traditional boxer.
Froch has been openly critical of Jake Paul's ambitions, describing Paul as absolutely useless in the ring. Froch expressed disbelief that after fighting Mike Tyson, Paul would seek a bout with Canelo, both legendary boxers. He suggested that Paul would be just one punch away from defeat against Canelo, emphasizing the disparity in skill and experience.
He mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances. But I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will. And I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'd go in there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night with Mike Tyson. Talking about Canelo Alvarez. I've not mentioned Canelo Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez, can you imagine? I mean, Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him. I will pay homage to him because fair play, if he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed, and it will be fast and it will be messy, and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
Carl Froch has been openly critical of Jake Paul's ambitions, calling him absolutely useless in the ring. Froch expressed disbelief that, after facing Mike Tyson, Paul would pursue a bout with two legendary boxers like Canelo. He emphasized the vast disparity in skill and experience, suggesting that Paul would be just one punch away from defeat.
All out in mind? Are you kind of just gonna see where it takes?
No, I mean, I do. It's Canelo. This moment will prove that I'm the face of boxing, the largest attraction. Me versus Canelo at 200 pounds for the cruiserweight championship is the biggest fight, arguably even bigger than me versus Tyson, and it makes so much sense. And you know, Canelo's on his way out. He's gonna want a payday, and I want to show the world that all the shit I've been talking about beating Canelo is actually true, and I'll have the biggest upset in the sport of boxing, and we will fight to really see who is the face. After this event, I'm gonna be claiming it. I beat his gate record. I'm beating the ticket sales, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna be the new.
Jake Paul remains confident that his fight with Canelo Alvarez will happen, and that he will shock the world with a victory. He believes he's already proven his doubters wrong in the past, pointing to his wins over Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. Paul insists that people think he's crazy until he proves them wrong. He's also suggested that Canelo needs him for a payday, claiming his popularity would make the fight financially rewarding for both fighters. Paul has been outspoken about his desire to face Canelo, especially after his recent win over Mike Tyson, and he believes that defeating Canelo would establish him as the new face of boxing.
Could you kill me in less than 10 seconds, theoretically?
Could be.
Yes or no?
Yes.
1, 2.
Nah, I'm not gonna kill you right now. I don't want problems.
You had to fight Jake Paul unlimited rounds, but after every round, Jake Paul gets all of his energy back. How long would it take for him to beat you?
His whole life.
Do you respect him at all?
I respect everybody.
So that was a soft no.
No, I respect everybody, you know. He's doing his thing and it's fine.
You had to play a round of golf with anyone throughout the course of
Tiger Woods.
But on the 18th hole, you have to knock them out. Who would it be?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. So you're comfortable with fighting him and knocking him out?
No, because I like to play with him 18 holes. Maybe I skipped and knock him out, but I already played with him.
Who's the most Mexican person that is not from Mexico?
You know the guy, what's his name? He married with a Mexican girl. Actor.
Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Aquaman?
No, the guy made el muchacho este que hizo una película que se puso muchas partes de animales también.
Rob Schneider.
In response to questions about Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez remarked that it would take Paul his entire life to knock him out. He expressed confidence in his own abilities and appeared completely unbothered by Paul's challenge.